Mozambique is a disaster-prone country. In fact, all disaster you can think of, Mozambique has them. The floods of 2000 and 2001, in terms of level of waters, is exactly the same as the flood of 2006 and 2007. But in terms of impact, completely different. In 2000 2001, there were over 300 deaths. In 2006 2007, there were less than 10 deaths. Something must have worked. I must confess that the first couple of months, I was wondering whether the RC assessment was still going on. Considering the challenges I was facing, I really was wondering whether they were still testing me. There is always this tendency, natural tendency, of institutional inertia. If each agency was left alone, they would prefer to do business as usual. So first you have to show to everybody that we'll make our value added is by being together. My role as a resident coordinator was to facilitate that process of common ownership and that process of problem solving together. Because you face problems every day and you have to solve them together. Mozambique asked to become a pilot country. This was a challenge because, first of all, none of us has done it before. And second, because within the country teams, there were head of agencies who were kind of resisting for Mozambique to be a pilot, either for their personal inclination or because their headquarters did not support the idea. But Mozambique became a pilot because of the government decision. So it was a government decision. My role was then to make sure that the country team find the best way to support the government. When the idea of the Millennium Village started in Mozambique, there were some resistance within the donor community, as well as within some of the UN agencies. But through advocacy and explanation, but even more importantly, through the leadership of the government, which said that this is what we want. What started as a UNDP-led initiative actually became a country team initiative. One of the things we are most proud of in this Millennium Village experience is that thanks to some of the savings we made from our travel, we put it in electrifying the village. You might think that electricity is nothing special, but you cannot imagine the difference having electricity makes in the daily life of a village. But thanks to that, we can have literacy classes after hours. Women can develop income-generating activities using electricity. Even the internet, which was put at the community level, is now working. And in the fields for agricultural production, they can use mechanization. So electricity brought in that Millennium Village is making a big difference. One of the greatest lessons I have learned in the Millennium Village process, or as being RC, after having worked as a UNICEF representative, is actually a lesson in humility. Because as a UNICEF resident representative, you actually have more authority. You have a lot of money, you have a lot of staff, you make decisions. But as RC, you work mainly through influencing, through your personal leadership, because the formal authority, you do not have it. And yet, you have to make things move forward. For me, this has not been only a professional challenge, but it has also been a personal challenge. It is not actually coordination for the sake of coordination. It is not coordination to be able to say, look how a happy family we are. If that was it, then it would have no interest. It is actually coordination for development results. Greatest satisfaction is actually to see the enthusiasm and the participation of communities, especially the women. I have visited Chibuto, one of the Millennium Villages, 3 times already. Each time I go, I feel revigorated because I can see progress. And a good example of the UN delivering as one. Because it is true that FAO could go alone and work with the peasant. WHO could go alone and work with the health of people. UNICEF could do the same, UNDP. But by working together, we are able to show that we can have greater and better results, and we can make a better difference. You see, in the academic world, we have this saying, publish or perish. I would say that in the UN, it is coordinate or perish.